Hi everybody, it's Biddy Penny. I'm here with a card, tag, and box. This is a series I plan on doing on my channel. I just think it would be fun to kind of round out our cards to add a tag and a box. So it should be interesting. Today I took the easy route and I used a die for the box. But I hope you'll stick around and follow along with me as I create these items. So I'm doing these for my mom. She has a birthday coming up this next week. In fact, we both do. Mine is a day before hers, and so we always celebrate together. And she loves really pretty things and shabby chic, so I know that this is going to please her. So I chose an image that had the mother with the nest and the eggs. I thought that was very fitting. And I'm going to make a 5.5 by 5.5 card. Now I left in this cutting because I wanted to show you that, when you have a specific measurement in mind and one of these really large images, it's important to kind of trim on different sides so you don't lose your image. You can trim off pieces like this that just are maybe more graphic. And this one I think I added one more time to get it exactly where I wanted it. Okay, so in this video you get a bonus. There's 2 cards, a tag, and a box. I couldn't help myself once I got to this part. So I am using their 3x4 cut-aparts. So in the 12x12 packs, you get 24 3x4 cut-aparts. And on one side are these graphic images and on the other side are frames. So what I'm showing you here is that with the first paper, the background is very busy. So it made sense to have like the big tulip image. And then on this one, the background is very simple. So like any image, and all of them kind of go with this. So when you're putting things together, maybe that's something for you to keep in mind. I ended up going with this one because it looked like a continuation of the flowers that were there on the left. All right, so then I'm bringing out these. These are dies that I had out the last time I worked with a Mintay collection, and I had pre-cut one of each just to see what I had to work with. And here I'm just kind of showing you the size, and I'm kind of sizing things up myself to see what I might like. And I hope you don't mind this type of video where it's kind of fiddly, but I felt like it's helpful. So I ended up going with this one because it's just the right size to fit the whole card in. Okay, I wanted to bring in so there I'm playing with, which side to do, and I do the green for more contrast, but I'm going to bring in some ribbon. So I had this bow tied from a previous video where I thought I might want a bow, and I just left it tied on the ribbon spools. So now I'm going to get to use it. And I don't have to retie a bow. Yay! So, there I was just playing with the ribbon to see which layer I wanted it to go on, if I wanted to go up behind this circle, but I actually when I was looking at it, I liked it going across the top of it. So if I was to do this card again, there's a couple things I would do different. One thing is I would have popped up that big circle because I'm going to give this to my mom in person. It doesn't have to go in the mail, so dimension is not a problem. Right? The more dimension, the better when we can just hand someone a card. It doesn't even have to go in an envelope, but that's okay. All right, so I am going to round the corners of this. I just kind of did that on a whim and thought it softened it. It's not so square. And that quarter rounder is not my favorite. I have a crocodile and I just couldn't get to it. So here I'm going to put some fun foam behind this and just pop it up a little. This is a tactic I use when I just don't want to deal with a whole bunch of foam tape. but I still want some dimension. Again, this is a fiddly part, so I hope it doesn't bother you, but I'm going to mess around with this bow. And then I had really wanted to bring in some flowers that I have that I thought went nice color-wise with this collection. I tried to put them on both cards, but ended up not doing it. So you're just going to see me play around here with these. Actually, on the second card, I might go back and add them, because when I was editing this video, I was like, oh, I actually like that. So we'll see. The second card, I don't have, you know, a recipient in mind, so I don't know if I'll end up mailing it or not, and I think that usually keeps me from going crazy with things like really dimensional flowers and stuff. All right, so that one's pretty much done. Now moving on to this one, I'm gonna round the corners here because I ended up liking that. And this is a really inexpensive punch that I got years ago when I first started my card making. I bought it at Hobby Lobby. I don't know if they still have them. They probably have better ones. Yeah. And so I had to trim off a little bit of that paper that wasn't quite straight. So I popped that up, and I'm happy that I did. It looks so much better. And then just gluing this straight down on top of it. And here's where I'm fiddling with flowers again, which these didn't bug me. So they bugged me on the other card because the tulips are so large. So I really just, even though it had roses in it, I didn't want to put those on there. All right, so I'm assessing here. Decide no, eventually. And then I'm gonna bring this ribbon in, and I really liked that on the first card. So I decided to put it here on this edge to kind of balance out all the graphic flowers on the left edge. Now, another thing that you've probably seen me do a few times is I really like to take like this gold thread and wrap it around my cards. I don't know what it is, but it's something I did a long time ago, and it's just stuck. I do it, you know, I think I probably did it in my last Mintay video. So I do it frequently. And it's surprising, it actually goes with lots of different aesthetics. All right, so that's that. And I'm pretty much ready to put these on their card bases. But with this one, with my mom's, again, it's my mom's. And so I'm going a little extra for her, and I know what she likes. And like the more lace and things like that I add to it, I know she'll like it because it's just in her aesthetic. Okay, so I am just going to use my tape runner to put down this double-sided tape for the lace to stick to. Now, this is new for me. I've never done this before. If I had to do it over again, I would have put the two sides down first and then the top and bottom. Again, with this card, there was just a couple of things that after doing them, I was like, I wish I would have done that a little differently. This is one of them. What I didn't like was how the corners kind of doubled up on me. And so right there, I was thinking about making that ribbon shorter, but I didn't really want to do that either. Okay, so I'm just going to add a little more adhesive here and stick this down. And like right away, that was kind of bothering me. So I did trim that part off, and that helps. And down here in the corner, I just trimmed that a bit. Like, I think she's gonna love it, so I'm not worried about it at all. But I would definitely try to correct that if I were to do it again for a card. Okay, the insides I'm doing really basic. I'm just gonna use this brick wall texture. And then when I want to write in it, I'm just gonna add probably like a soft pink or a white cardstock in there, and that'll be done. I actually have a lot to write in my mom's card this year, so I'm gonna need all that space. All right, so here we are, moving on to the tag. Okay, so just so you know, I cut that at 4 1/4, and then I'm just trimming off so that this is a 12. So it's 4 1/4 by 12 if you want the dimensions. And what I had done is I had taken a plain card base and I was like, let me turn that into a tag. And so I cut the corners off like this. But I didn't want to deal with just a white card base, and so, or tag base, and so I grabbed a piece of the pattern paper, cut it at 4 1/4 by 12, and that gave me a little more length, which to me looks more like a tag than just a card, right? And then I cut the sides off, and now I'm going to layer these pieces here. I had cut a little bit on that 3 by 4. Here I'm just using a standard hole punch to get my hole at the top, and this is going to go pretty quick. It's pretty easy. So now here the flowers worked for me, so yay. I am going to pop this up, and I'm not going to worry about it like getting crushed or wrinkled or anything like that because it's going on a gift. Now, one thing I am going to do is I'm actually going to use like a pretty post-it to put in here to write my message to my mom, because then she can take this and add it to someone else's gift so she can pass it on. Because I think she'll probably want to do that, knowing her. All right, so I just popped both of those things up. And now, for me, having that double dimension balances out these thicker flowers, which I think is one of the things that bothers me. If a card is more flat and then you try to add something very dimensional, it just stands out a bit much. But this balanced out for me. And I'm just using tacky glue, and the only thing you have to do is just, use a good bit and give it plenty of time to dry, and it holds beautifully. All right, I'm bringing back in the same ribbon, and I am going to cut this nice and long because it always drives me crazy when I go to tie on a tag and I don't have enough ribbon to tie it on. Okay, and then I'm just securing this here with some twine. This is like an embroidery floss. And it was on my desk already, and it was perfect color, so yay. That was easy. And there it is. So easy, so simple, and we have a tag. All right, so next I'm going to move on to a Spellbinders Large Die of the Month. Now this is from March 2018. And it's a cute little box, and it had other dies, but I don't even have them in there. All right. Ideally, if you just have a 7 by 7 piece of cardstock, you can cut this die out. I measure it here, and actually 7 by 7 works if you can just cut it at an angle, and I'm going to show you that here in a minute with a 6 by 6. Here we go. So if you don't mind turning it, if your pattern is not going to be thrown off, you can use a smaller sheet of paper. I used a larger one because I wanted those birds, and so I laid mine out and cut it out a little differently. So I think I cut my paper to, like 8 by 8 to get those birds in there. Okay, so here is the little bird box. Now it's important to, bend back and fold those down on that crease line. And then I'm going to show you here. I'm going to do like this little, I'm trying to decide which side I wanted and still I do want the pretty little birds. So I like to bounce these down a little bit like this and bend the paper slightly because it gives the box a better presentation. Okay, so I'm not going to say what's going to go in this box just in case by the off chance somebody sees this video, but there will be a little gift in here. Thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. I look forward to making more in this series, and I hope you'll come back. Please subscribe and like as I try to build up my little channel and reach out to our community and share with everyone. And here at the end, I'm going to have just a little bit of a close-up for you. Thanks again. Have a blessed day.